Hello, welcome to episode 005 of Smooth Dev Saturday. I hope you had a nice week. I did myself. Thank you for joining again on this smooth ride, talking about development, software development, cloud, DevOps, and all sort of good stuff that relates to development. Last week on Smooth Dev Saturday, we talked about classes, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation as some of the basic concepts that builds up object-oriented programming. Of course, we know that is not all of it, but of course, it shows some of those things that are in object-oriented programming, and I hope you learned something. So this week we'll be talking about web applications. A web application is simply an application that resides on a server and you access remotely through web protocols like HTTP. Right. And in this episode, we have three basic things we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about simple web pages. We'll be talking about kind of web applications. I'll be talking about hosting your websites when you're done writing your web applications. How do you get them up and hosted so people can access them? So let's dive right in. A simple web application. So what I'm gonna be doing is I will show us just a demo of, well, before I even talk about the demo, let me talk about what I'll be telling us about. So a web page is simply these days a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and they run on browsers. Right. So web applications, simple web pages, you run them through your web browser, be it browsers on your phone, on your laptops or tablets, or on your smart TVs. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. So over here I have Visual Studio Code open, and what I have running here in here I have my HTML code. I have so don't worry about the syntax, of course. So I got the title text, I got the body text, I got the script. So let me explain what I did here. Right in here where you see the link, I imported this CSS file. I may remember I mentioned it's a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So in this CSS file, I just have this code that defines the font color and then the font family. So I have Trebuchet MS, Lucida, Sans Unicode, Lucida Grand, Lucida Sans, and Arial Sans. So what it means is it tries to find this font on the system. If it doesn't find it, goes to this. If it doesn't, goes to this until it defaults to sans serif. Right. And then, oh, don't let me show you the JavaScript code just yet. And then I have this thing that says it imports the JavaScript code. So let me run this first and let's see what that actually looks like running in the browser. So this is Firefox. Looking at this, it says I'm a title text, it's a beautiful day, come enjoy it with me. So let me zoom into that so you can see. Alright, so let me even refresh it so you see. So you see this pop-up that says I am JavaScript code. This one. Where did that come from? It came from the JS file I didn't want to show us the other time. So let's look into it. So JavaScript is like the business logic, the action part of simple websites. So what it does is I told it to do an alert. Sorry, let me just save this. So I told it to alert me that it's a JavaScript code. I could put any text in here. I could say I'm the business logic. I'm the, let me call it code behind. Okay, let's call it code behind. Alright, so if I were to run this again, you'll see that the pop-up will change to I'm the code behind, as you see here. So that is the brainchild. Well, brainchild? I'm not sure. Of the web page. So if I were to uncomment this now, we'll see something drastic change. Boolah. We'll see our text change to blue, and then it's looking more beautiful than Times New Roman. So what happens is it now gets so CSS is the beauty, HTML is the structure, CSS is the beauty, JavaScript is the brains of your web pages. I think that should explain it. So that is that about web pages. So let's go into the next section that we have. So web application types. Now, the paradigm of programming we have today, we see many developers say, I code on this stack, main stack, lamp stack, beanstalk, talking on the chair. So these days there are a lot of stacks out there, but in essence these things boils down to two major things: the back end, which is the web service, and the front end that renders that is the visualization of what the backend service is. So in the backend you have stuff like the application itself, the database, the storage, the other connecting parts of the service. So if I were to permit me to do a little bit of drawing here, so if you were to have a web application, you have the API somewhere here, then it connects to a database, then this will be the front end, this connects to a database, this will be the front end, this could be accessed via a mobile app or a web browser or a smart TV or just anything. And this backend service connects to many other different things like your email service, SMS service, Azure AD and all of that. So that is basically what that looks like. Excuse me, just a little bit of time, permit me, I mistakenly closed PowerPoint there. So let me just go ahead and get the slide on again. Okay, I'm back. I should actually get rid of this drawing, but yeah. So let me demo what the back end and the front end code looks like now. So even before I show you the demo, the back end is written, you can write it in a number of very many languages. There's C# if you're writing ASP.NET or ASP.NET Core. There's PHP with the different flavors, and of course there's Node.js, there's Python, there's Go, there's just a whole lot of them out there. You could do your research and find which language suits you best to write your backend services in. And then the front end, we have Blazor, that's Microsoft's own, we have Angular, we have React, we have Vue, just a whole bunch of them, just as I said. But in this demo, what I'll actually show us, so I'm back in VS Code. Let me close all this basic stuff and let's go a little bit more advanced, shall we? So here I have my ASP.NET Core. I write C#. So I have my ASP.NET Core code that is showing so this is the startup file. Let me show you the controller. This is what I'm most concerned about. So one thing I like to do is just change this. Now this is just the bootstrapper when I did .NET New create that. So what it does is guess weather forecasts, the list of it. Alright, so if I were to run this, so I don't want to bore you with the language, so I will just go ahead and run it and show you what that looks like. Oh, it's running already. Alright, so let me actually stop running it and go ahead and run it again. So that should run on localhost 5000. So the localhost 5000 now is our server. Now there are different kind of server. There are Apache servers, IIS, and some other ones. So IIS is Microsoft's own server, Apache is the open source one, and because this is .NET Core, it runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux servers, so it's cross-platform. This is what makes me like .NET Core, basically. So it's running now on localhost 5000. If I were to open that, because it's a web API, if I was to open localhost 5000, I have no web page attached to it. Let me just try this again. Pardon me, please. So it's in my browser. Pardon this, it's because I'm running this for the first time on this browser. So don't worry, because there's no page that I set up because it's all backend. But if I were to go to API / weather forecasts, right? Oh, let me use Firefox. Firefox looks pretty high fi when I'm doing API stuff. So you can see that I see the temperature of 12 degrees Celsius is bracing, 6 degrees is sweltering, 9 degrees is hot, -7 is cool, 52 degrees is bracing. So this is what my backend returns. So if I were to now use this, I could use this from either a mobile app or web app. Maybe what I'll do for next week is I'll just cook up a simple demo. I won't do the live coding, of course. I'll cook up a simple demo to show us how the backend, the web application, communicates with the different front end uh, services. So this is just the backend code. Not liking to waste your time and talking about how much I love .NET. So that is backend. And then if I go to front end, so what I did is I have my front end code here. So the first one I have here is the Angular app. Don't let me go to the nitty-gritties of Angular applications. Of course, I don't even write Angular myself, so but at least I can start a running Angular application. So I'll go to front end. Okay, Angular app. So I'll do ng serve open. That's for me to actually run the oh sorry, I missed one more. What? I'm not sure what is going on there. Well, it seems I'm unable to run this application anymore. So let me try and run this actually from the blank console. So I'll run as administrator. I don't know why it's showing me all that stuff. So this is me. So I'll go to cd project slash sds slash demos slash web applications. Uh-oh, pardon me. So cd projects slash sds slash demos slash web applications slash front end. Sorry, dir. So cd angular app. So I'll do my ng serve open. Please work now. I don't know why VS Code is doing me all that strong stuff. It seems like it will build and open. Okay, it's compiling, and then it should open any moment from now once it's done building. 10% built. Okay, it's building. So while that happens, let me just have a drink. Okay, and it's up and running. So I just did a bootstrap new Angular application, and this is what it shows up for me. So the front end application, as I said, is using a language like Angular. So if I were to try the React version of this, yes, excuse me. Okay, so React will be npm start. So that will go ahead and build, and it should come up just any moment from now. Okay, just a moment, let me get this up and running. Okay, it's loading. Okay, I need to accept some stuff here, then it should be up and running. Okay, so this is another front end app. So that's just it. Now, let's talk about hosting websites. Now, when you're done writing all this code, how do you now get it on the server? How do you make it work? How do you make your friends see it? Now, I personally I use a couple of hosting services. I use one.com, I use Azure, sometimes here GoDaddy. So it's just the process. So hosting my website is just the process of me getting my web application to run on a remote server, so you can access it through a URL. So let me actually go ahead and show you one of the places I do my hosting. So let me open up Azure, for example. Okay, that is loading up. Pardon my internet, it's a little bit grudgy. Oh, let me disconnect some devices. Alright, so turn Wi-Fi off. Set this on airplane mode. Well, okay, it's loaded up now. So hosting my in Azure, if I were to host stuff, I would go to the app services section. Now this is not an Azure series, so it's just to just show you a kind of web application I have running. So I have 17 web applications I actually have running here. You can see them all up in here. So let me actually show you this one. Yep, this one. So this website was written in ASP.NET Core, or should I show? Okay, let me show you this, my most recent one. So I so I wrote quickly, cooked up this application in like 3 minutes. I had it up and running. Of course, I use templates. So if you go to the is it configuration? Yes, I want to show you the technology is actually runs on. So let me do a little bit of zoom. Oh, 25 is okay. Yep, thank you. Just wait for that to load up. Okay, so if I go to general settings, you can see it runs on .NET Core. You can see the different frameworks that exist right in here. So I use .NET Core, and I use .NET Core 3.0 for that application. And then if I add some startup commands and all that. So that is me running this app. And of course, if I were to click on it, I would be able to get the where is it now? Okay, it's still loading the stuff. Okay, if I have to click on this, it will open the website for me. So that is me actually getting the code from my laptop, even though there was some other process where I used to get it up and running. So yeah, I'm not done with the website. When I'm done, maybe I'll share with you guys. Yep. So that is just that process of. So there are a lot of hosting services out there you can use. I prefer Azure personally, that's why I use it. So get on that. Depending on the language you're also writing, uh, you will have to decide what kind of hosting service you will use, which one is beneficial to you, which one is pocket friendly. So yeah, so that wraps up today's episode of Smooth Dev Saturday. I hope you learned something. So next week, so I'll try as much as possible to cook up a really cool, much cooler demo than what I did today, so that I have some. So next episode we'll talk about desktop and mobile applications and how they work hand in hand with what we talked about today, right? So make it a date next episode of Smooth Dev Saturday. I will want to see you. So please drop your comments, subscribe, tell your friends about this, and I hope to see you next week. Be sure to stay in touch on any of these channels. darrolladakpo.com. Follow me on Twitter, on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, anywhere you wish to. Yeah, so thanks very much once again for joining me. Have a very good weekend. Peace.